Hey guys, Rachel here again inside the Beauty Vlogger Bootcamp tent, and today I'm going to give you a makeup tutorial, especially on the most beautiful part of most girls' face, the eyes. So let's open up and see what I have in my beauty kit. Alright, let's see here. To start off the look, I'm going to start with this Powder FX. And what I'm going to do is just kind of put this under the eye. It's a lighter foundation. I'm going to put it under my eye to just kind of lighten up my eye and get it prepared. Any dark circles, you're going to want to cover those up as well. And next, I'm going to move on to the shadows. And today we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadow Collection. And it looks like we have a dark purple and a pale pink. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take the pale pink and I'm going to swipe it over my eye, and especially in the corners and up under the brow line to just kind of give those highlights since it's a lighter color. So I'm going to take the pale pink and I'm going to start with the corner of my eye. I really love putting a light color in the corner because it really, if you're tired, you know, it brightens up your eye. And I also think that under the brow bone is really important as well because it just lifts your eye. And I think when doing your eyes, you want to have as much youth as you can possibly bring to your eyes. I'm also going to sweep this powder. Since we only have two colors, I'm going to also sweep this along most of the lid of my eye. Now, with the darker purple, I'm going to use that kind of as a contouring in the eye. So I'm going to use it along my lash line and then also in the crease of my eye to really give it some definition and kind of oomph up the volume, give it a more beauty type look. So first I'm going to go across the lash line and kind of smudge it in there. You don't want it to be too stiff. And then I'm going to go in the crease of my eye. Do that on both sides. If you're going out for a night on the town, you could definitely amp up the volume by putting the purple, you know, as a much darker, giving it a more, I would say, dramatic effect. So I'm going to rub it still in on my lash line and then in the creases on both sides. This color, by the way, is called the eyeshadow duo My Bedford, and it's by Anastasia Beverly Hills, like I said earlier. And moving on to the eyeliners. So since we have two colors here, we have Black 1 by Sourmet Cosmetics, that's also in Beverly Hills, and we have a Black Brown 2. For this look, I'm gonna go with the Black Brown, just because that we have the color intensity on the eyes. Seems like I can't get this open. But if I could get this open, I'm not going to spend too much time because I really only have 5 minutes to show you this beauty tutorial and I want to make sure that I finish the look. What I would do with this is I would smudge it along the top of my eye into the top of my eyelash creases and then only in the outside corner underneath my eye. And really just smudge it in there across the top line and then a small line across the bottom, but only halfway through the eye to make sure that the eyes stay open. If you go halfway on the bottom, it keeps your eye open. And last but not least, you really need to curl your eyelashes. So this is my favorite beauty trick of any eye. I always think you need to curl your eyelashes. So just start at the bottom, couple pumps. Same thing on this side, couple pumps. And then finish it off with mascara. Here we have our Honey Protein Mascara. When I apply mascara, I like the TTU. So tips, top, and then under. So I'm gonna go across the top. If you go across the tips, excuse me, and then across the top, which helps you curl your lashes even more, and then underneath. All right, guys, well, that has been your eye makeup tutorial. Rachel here coming to you again from Beauty Vlogger Bootcamp 10, and we'll see you next time.